How about now? Hey, there we go. What is happening? What is happening? Give me one more second to test something. What's up, friends? Welcome to the Live Composing Show. My name is Stephen Melin. This is the Video Game Music Alliance. And boy, oh boy, I've had all kinds of tech glitches today. I've successfully done live streams all week long, no issues, and then all of a sudden I turned everything on today. It's actually all working like an hour ago. And then all of a sudden, nothing wanted to work. I'm a little baffled at the moment. Let's give me 2 seconds to turn this on and off. There we go, maybe. There we go. Is that better? I think that works now. Holy mackerel. There we go. There we go. There we go. So sorry about that. Usually I have everything all set up and clean, but yeah, stuff decided not to work today. That works. We're in business. Hopefully that should solve it. Let me know if it sounds weird now. Everything looks clean on my end. Yeah. And just in case, I'm gonna double check. Check. Cool. Hopefully that solves everything. Anyway, welcome. Oh no. Oh, it says the mic is still bad. Okay, let me give it like a minute, and I'll see if the consensus is true. But anyway, oh my gosh, awesome news from Sarah. She got married this weekend. Well, hello. That's way cooler news than my little show here, but congrats. Let's all give our congrats. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Thank you for your patience. I hate starting late, but that is just the nature of this gig. When we're working in video game audio, stuff happens. Technology breaks down. Things don't work the way you're supposed to. Audio interfaces stop working. Cameras stop working. DAW stop working. And when they stop, they tend to talk to each other, and they all say, "Hey, I'm not going to work today during the stream. You shouldn't work either." And then they all conspire, and yeah. Anyway, now that I'm totally sidetracked, let's have some fun today. So today I have the pleasure and honor to get to work on a clip from Dragon Ball: The Breakers. I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z and all things Dragon Ball. I grew up on that stuff, and I thought it might be fun just to kind of kick off the show here today. Oh, I love it so much. Rock the Dragon. I would play the clip, but then I'd get like copyright strikes. So that's the best we got. So today, I'm really excited. I'm a really big fan of Dragon Ball Z games, even though they seem to be getting worse every single day. Every time that there's a new game out, they're usually worse because nothing can top the old Super Nintendo fighting games, which I used to play like the old Japanese versions of them. Or the Budokai series. That's what I grew up on in my teen years on the PS2. Some good stuff there, fighting as Goku and Vegeta and Frieza and Cell and all the dudes. So I love that stuff. What we're doing today, I'm going to score this clip, and yeah, absolutely, Chew. Every day I come home from school and Dragon Ball Z would be on, and it would just be the best. So this game, it's a fighting game, but it's actually, now that I've looked more into it, it's like a survival game, which is weird. It's a multiplayer survival game. To me, this is one of those, it should be a free-to-play game on Steam, but it's not. And Bandai Namco, they know that this is a less than their best. They're only pricing it at $20 on launch day tomorrow. And even if you look at it, it looks like PS2 graphics. I don't know how this is passable in 2022, but it's also probably because they're porting it to Switch as well as PS5. And anytime you have a game that needs to operate on both, you're going to cut corners somewhere in the quality department of the visuals. So this actually reminds me of Legends Arceus Pokemon. And they had the same problem where they're trying to, it's rushed and visually it's rushed and it feels rushed. But the concept of the game is you're trying to survive against one of the three big baddies, right? We have Frieza, Cell, and Boo, Majin Buu. And I think you have a team of 7 or 8 players and you're all trying to fight against, which is cool. It's a change of pace and it has a kind of an open world feel to it where you're traveling around and fighting and all that kind of stuff. And of course, the Dragon Ball series is known for its really cool blend of metal, like rock metal music, and orchestral, very anime orchestral. And so that's the direction I want to lean in today. It's going to be super fun. Just getting to dive into this. And there's 2 libraries I want to talk about today. And just a quick disclaimer that if you decide to pick up any of these libraries today, they do support the channel here at no additional cost to you here at Video Game Music Alliance. So hopefully one or more of these could be a really cool addition to your palette. So a couple things we're going to be looking at today. The first one is the Ample 3-in-1 Metal Bundle. So over here on Best Service, Ample Sound does one thing. They create incredibly high quality electric guitar and electric bass sample instruments and acoustic guitar. So it's all guitars. And I think it's so cool because this particular bundle, I looked high and low to find something that would be really valuable for you guys if you don't have any metal instruments. This is it's 2 electric guitars and 1 electric bass. So the bass is in the middle there. And they have a ton of products on their site. But if you really want to get that rocky, edgy metal sound, I think this is the way to go. It's pretty decently priced too, because you're basically getting 1 for free. Because individually they're $119, put them together $239 for all 3. But this particular bundle, it has the Hellraiser guitar, the Eclipse bass, and what's the third one called? The Metal R. Really cool stuff there. And then the other thing we're going to be looking at today, you got to have some drums too. So we're going to be using TuneTrack EZDrummer. So specifically, EZDrummer 3 is the one we're looking at. And the engine itself is really cool. If you don't know anything about drums, it actually has a bunch of preset MIDI patterns that are all based around different filters. We can take a look at that. But they also have a bunch of extensions, as they're calling them, little expansion packs that allow you to have specific kits. And so I'll be using the Modern Metal kit today from TuneTrack, and I think it sounds absolutely incredible. And I've actually gotten the chance to play through a bunch of their kits, and that's the one that, to me, sounds the most authentic to metal music and to this anime style, which I know a lot of you are interested in the video game space. So, as we jump in here today, I'm someone that I usually like to play in my own music. Obviously, I have a lot of experience playing a keyboard, and so when it comes to sample libraries that kind of write for you, I'm not a huge fan of that, but I will say that EZDrummer, pretty cool. I can play a decent drum groove, so I get conceptually I can play drums, and of course I can go to a keyboard. I don't have any issue playing drums on a keyboard, so that's not necessarily for me, but I know a lot of you guys don't know how to play drums, and that's fine. And so what's really neat about this plugin is you get to choose your drum kit, and you can mix and match all the different individuals, which is so cool. It's pretty amazing, actually, because you can go to the kick drum, and you can choose the exact kick drum you want. You can audition it. You can get very specific on every single piece of gear here, which is so cool. And then over here, you can go to the grooves, and you can search by genre, playstyle, type, time signature, tempo, everything. And you can even there's so much to sort through here and to sift through that it's just a really cool engine. And I think this is very helpful for anyone that doesn't enjoy programming drums. So for example, today, if I just pull up some metal little phrases here, I love that I can specify double kick, metal, and I can choose just the chorusy sounding ones, or just the pre-chorus ones, or just the intro. That's cool. And then you can go over here, you can click and drag the MIDI into your actual track. That's what I did, just experimenting around with it, and I actually found this a couple of really cool phrases that I liked that might go well for today. I mean, those are both some really cool grooves, I think. Very useful. And I imagine specifically for things like rock and, of course, metal and anything that's really high energy, this is a beast to try to program something like this. If you're not really familiar with how to use kick drums and snares and hi-hats and rides and cymbals, like this could be really overwhelming to try to go in here and program this. So like the name suggests, EZDrummer, right? It's made to be very simple. Me personally, I would much rather take this, find a cool preset, use it as an idea, but then I want to play them myself. I really like that all you have to do is start playing on the exact same patch. Or you can go in here and you can just start editing individual notes of the phrase that was, pre-programmed. I think that's really helpful. And so for today, I'm going to be using a little phrase that I wrote, but I just wanted to show you at least the template that I'm basing it off of. Aside from that, the Ample 3-in-1 that we were just talking about over here, I'm going to be using all three of these because to me, this is like the essential toolkit of anyone trying to write metal music. You need to have a rhythm guitar, a lead guitar, and an electric bass. So I do play these in real life, so I have a pretty good understanding of how they should sound and what they should do. But my goal today is just to use these libraries and get it as realistic as possible and make it as fun and interesting as possible. And I don't want to miss the opportunity to say hi. I know I kind of rushed into this live stream today with some tech issues, but let me take a second. Hello, everyone. Got Micah, Marie, Matt, another Matt, Sarah, who just got married. That's so cool. Jew, Value. I saw Jay Metzer. What's up? So many friends here today. The other Matt. Why are there so many Matts here? I just seem to attract a lot of Matts in my life. I don't know why. I know a million Matts. Got Claire that just popped in. What's up? I'm so glad you guys are here. Keep the questions coming. Keep the comments coming. We got Elo, Henry. Howdy. I would love to know, for real, what are some of your favorite Dragon Ball games? I really love the Budokai series and from the PS2 era. I grew up on that stuff. So much fun. So the three guitars we're going to be using, I could be played these for days. They're so much fun. And I actually really wish I had this back when I was doing the Fire Emblem stream, the Three Houses Warriors, because this is so cool. So this is the interface for each of the Ample Sound guitars. I think they're so neat because there's so many options here to really tweak it to how you want. But to me, a sample library has to be good right out of the box. So the couple things right off the bat, when I push really hard on the key, really high velocity, it plays a harmonic. Versus if I play soft. And then they also have the sample, the release of the sample changes based on how quickly you release the note. So what that means is I can play really short, like palm muty kind of notes. So not only is it round robin, which means there's a lot of takes, a lot of different wave files. But depending on how long I hold the note, it actually has a true representation of what the guitar sounds like. Which is so useful. And this specifically is a rhythm guitar, so you could play it as a lead if you want, but it's going to sound best in the lower register. So you could easily play a line. That kind of thing. And of course you can play with the pitch bend. Or you can push the mod wheel up and it actually adds vibrato. Or leave it non-vibrato. So usable, and I love that they kept all the little the noises, like the finger noises and like the screeches, and I love it so much. It sounds so real. So beyond that, they have this really cool knob here called the double. So if I turn off completely, it's just our standard mono sound that's right there in the middle. But this double knob, check this out. Takes that mono recording, which I always recommend if you're going to record a guitar, record it in mono, because then you can do cool things like this. It doubles it. It's a stereo doubler. So what it does is I can crank this up to 50. I don't really know what the units mean, but 10 up to 50. But essentially, I'm taking the sound and I'm making it stereo by panning it left and right, and then there's going to be a slight delay based on how high the knob is. So if it's all the way at 50, I guess it means a 50 millisecond delay between the left and the right, but I want to stay somewhere in the middle. Yeah. And I want to answer a quick question. So Jay Metzer is asking, would I ever use these for real with a client when I play real guitars? I think it's a circumstantial question. So to me, the purpose of a live instrument is to be able to record that final take that's going to go in the final product. So much of my work, and your work, if you're writing with video games, so much of our work is to create demos, is to create mock-ups. And what I've learned over the years is when I work on a video game, when I first write a piece of music, there's a very high chance that it's going to have to be edited in some way within the span of about 6 months to a year. So it's very critical that I always keep backups of all of my versions of everything I've worked on for a soundtrack, and I should be able to easily access it, because so often I've had clients say 6 months later, hey, I really like this track, but now that the game has changed, or now that this environment has changed, or the character has changed, or whatever, there's always some change that happens in the project that I have to go back to my files and change the music in some way. So you can't do much. I won't say you can't do anything, but you can't do much if something's printed, if it's like recorded. And that's typically why when you record an orchestra or you record soloists, that's like the final step before the final mix. To be done with a project. It's not something you usually do at the beginning. And I'm not the greatest guitarist in the world anyway, so for me, I have a tendency to lean towards VSTs naturally. I think for things like power chords and just like basic stuff, yeah, I'm going to grab my guitars because in my bass, because it's always going to be slightly better in the authenticity and the live sound. You really can't beat that. But this is a very, very close second. So I've had a lot of times where I've written demo tracks with VST guitars and VST drums and VST bass, and then I'll go back and record once I get the thumbs up from the client, because with MIDI, you can change the tempo, you can change the key, you can just transpose things very fast. You can copy your MIDI data between orchestral instruments and rock instruments. So it's just one of those things that you need to be aware of, that recording stuff live, you need to be doing that as the last step. Otherwise, you're committing to something that you probably have to go back and change, which is very costly in time, and especially if you're recording live musicians. Anyway, like, this shouldn't sound this good right out of the box. It's pretty crazy. A couple other knobs here I want to show you, just because I'm brand new to ample sound, and I'm already a huge fan of these, and I'm actually excited to explore their acoustic line as well at a later time. But each of these buttons here these are notation marks for guitarists. So over here, if you hover your mouse over it, it'll tell you what that key switch does. So natural harmonic. So if I hold that down, you'll notice that all of a sudden, they're all harmonics. If I hit the next key switch, palm mutes. Which is basically like super staccato, super short notes. And going in and on. So we have slides, we have legato, we have something else here, Hammer-Ons. And then the last one here is tap. Which, I'm not a super advanced guitarist, but I do know that if you're playing like really shreddy lines and you're going really high on the guitar and you're trying to just, it's too fast to play with one hand, right? To pick it with your right hand, then you're going to use your left hand to actually start playing the notes as well as the right hand, and you're actually basically plucking at that point. And because the strings vibrating, all the sound comes out. So that's a cool key switch. I'm sorry, you can't see that. That's a cool key switch right here. It sounds even more realistic than just using the standard. Because if you're on this first notch, this first key switch, the sustain, it's assuming that you're playing every single note individually with the pick. Right? It's a cool little line, but it sounds way more realistic. So, ultimately, any sample instrument is only going to be as realistic as your ability to play the key switches appropriately. So you should still understand the basics of how to play guitar, but I have not put 10,000 hours into playing guitar. I've put well over 10,000 hours playing keyboards, so it makes sense that I'm going to lean into keyboard. Right? I still want to be sensible to the actual instrument. And aside from that, over here in this right side, there's different ways to play the instrument. You can actually keep all of the open strings, which is cool, instead of the actual fingered notes. And then over here, you also have stroke noises if you want to have all those extra little unclean sounds, which I love them. They make it sound real. And on top of that, there's all these presets. And I really like how they have them distinguished between rhythm guitar and lead guitar. So that is super helpful, because over here, if I go to this Eclipse Solo lead, you should be playing lead lines. Like melodies, basically, because that's not going to sound good if you try to do chugs. It's not made for that. Instead, you need to go to a rhythm. That's the idea. And all these have different effects on them and everything. So really cool presets. Big fan. So I just think it's so cool that these instruments are so stinking playable. This slide key switch is super cool because you can hold it down with your mouse. It's going to slide between the two notes you play. So I love that if you try to play two notes at once, it creates a bend, like a distorted, all those overtones. So anyway, that's the gist of how that interface works. And so you can take that and run with it. My favorite, just playing through, my favorite rhythm was the Eclipse Rhythm 1. I feel like I gave a nice dark down low. It's so good. Anyway, yeah, Power Rangers mixed with DBZ. There you go. Two staples of my childhood. All right, lead guitar. The Ample Metal Hellraiser is much more leaned towards the lead. There's just more presets and such towards lead. And to me, it's important to have one lead and one, one rhythm. And you also notice that the Metal Eclipse is a 6-string guitar. And the Hellraiser, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, has flipping 9 strings on it. So it is a true metal guitar. It just means it has more notes. So it's going to be better for shredding. Remember, if you're going to do shredding, turn on the tap. That kind of thing. Or do some kind of combo. Yeah. Jay Metzer just made fun of me because he's an actual guitarist. He said, just count the pegs. What are you doing? Don't count the strings. Count the pegs. Yeah. So, yes, 4 plus 5, 9. Yeah. It's also cool because you can choose the position. See? You can choose the actual position that you're playing in. So cool. Like, the scripting. These guys have absolutely mastered how to program guitars. You see how all the way up there, the 20th fret? What in the world? What the world? So, I haven't used a lot of guitar libraries because to me they've always sounded slightly fake. To me, this sounds very realistic, and sample libraries have come a very long way. So all that to say, let's write some music. I came up with this drum beat that I want to really lean into for this, because really all that's happening in the gameplay clip is Goku is fighting off Frieza. Go figure. Meanwhile, our main non-named character is trying to, part of the game is you have certain characters, because it's a multiplayer game. Some of your characters are teamed, you have to go fight and try to keep the villain away, while your character, in this case, Rikudo, is trying to summon Shinron, the dragon, to add more powers to the team and stuff. So it's like a timed battle, royale kind of thing. It's very interesting. To me, this is one of those games that would be fun to play for one day, and then I'm done. I wouldn't want to necessarily come back. But, there's a scene for everyone, and some people love this kind of thing, this battle royale kind of thing. And they want to play it a lot. So here is my own drum beat that I came up with EZDrummer. This is not a pre-programmed MIDI thing. It's just me playing. To me, the metal sound is to have your open, crash cymbals or your rides, and you're just going, right? Meanwhile, you have a lot of double kick, and you have your snares on the big beats, right? And besides that, you're gonna have a lot of fills with your toms, and that's kind of the style. Conversely, a traditional rock beat that's different from metal. Rock is much more hi-hat heavy. Much more hi-hat, but wherever it is. The open hi-hat is really the sound of metal. So here we go. So I'm trying to double that that rhythm. And just out of like a head nod to the original DBZ, I really like E minor. It's also the lowest note generally on electric guitar, so you could go to drop C. So I really like, those are the actual notes, E, D, E, G, E. It's all an A harmonic minor. Right? So I want to kind of give a head nod to that. With those notes. It's kind of the idea, and I also came up with this little idea with the Hellraiser. And now that I think about it, if I'm going to shred, then I need to put on my key switch for the taps, which I'm not sure. It's way down there. Oh, there it is. So the key switch is. Where are you? Calm down. I'm trying to find. Okay, tapping is F sharp 1. That's my key switch. That's what I'm looking for. There it is. Sorry about that. So what I'm trying to do is put in the F sharp before we start playing so that there's some kind of tap. Where is it? Where are my notes? Where are my shreddage? Oh boy. There's no sound coming out of here. That's not good. Okay, well, that's not supposed to happen. So we're gonna call it Metal Hero Razor. Let's try again. There's a lot of cool leads in here. That's actually a very DBZ kind of sound, is to have a little bit of a like a what do you call that? Compressed and EQ'd so that the sound is very nasally. All right, so the thing with anime in general and this style of music is it's important to keep generally a 4-chord progression, kind of like pop music. And that's kind of where the charm is. It's having really cool metal effects, but it's the simplicity of the chord structure that also helps. All right. Let me experiment a little bit more with these presets just to find another lead. Like that one. I haven't even talked about the bass yet. This is the Ample Metal. This thing is just really cool. Same settings as everything else, but being a 5-string bass and a rock bass, it's going to have a lot more edge. Yeah, Jay Metzer, I absolutely rank this above Ministry of Rock. I hadn't played this before. I hadn't heard of Ample Sound until I started looking into their stuff, and I noticed, oh my gosh, this is some of the best stuff out there. Like, this sounds freakishly close than just recording my own bass direct line in. This is my favorite preset. Notice it's Enter Sadman instead of Sandman for Metallica. There's a lot of like Metallica references here. For Whom the Bell Tolls. Here's that one. This one's got a lot more oomph. Oh, it's loading. This is on my external hard drive. I didn't put it on my main because it's not. That's a Mega Man X. That's such a cool sound. It obviously has some distortion on it. It'll tell you if it has distortion or overdrive, which is nice versus clean, and just helps you narrow it down faster. But I like Enter Sadman because it has the overdrive on it. And look, it even says author Metallica. That's cool. I don't know how they got away with that. Or maybe it is a typo. Maybe it's supposed to say Sandman. I don't know if it's intentional or not. My new bass for sure. So good. Anyway, the function of a bass in a metal band is to basically double the rhythm guitar 1 octave lower. That way it creates this really thick, fat sound. So right now, I'm also trying to double it with the kick drum. So right now, right? So we take the kick drum, we take the rhythm guitar, and we double that. Oh man, poor Matt. He had a signed Slash guitar scratch plate when I met him and left in the attic of his old house. That's so sad. It is awful. So I'm going to try to double. And because I'm lazy in the moment, not that lazy, but I want to save some time, I'm just going to double this. Let me clean up this little guitar line. If I can double it. So this is where programming matters. I want all of these to be really short because the instrument's going to actually play it. So I want these to be longer, and I want these to be 16ths. These are 8ths. I like these being triplets and triplet bump. So for all of these, they need to be short, super duper short. So ultimately, yeah, it'd be easier just to pick up a guitar and play this, I think. But if you don't play guitar, then this is what you have. Take it. That's true. It's true of all sample instruments, right? You need to know why you're using a sample instrument in the first place. And a lot of times it's just for demos. Sometimes it's the fastest way to write. You see how subtle that is? How all of a sudden, because they were not programmed well, it sounds very awkward and fake. So I'm going to try to keep my links the right. This is why I typically just play it in, so it sounds more realistic. Take it. Take it, that. Make that one long. Bounce. Whole quarter note. So now let's make sure that the drum match it. Now I do find that this is a little bit sluggish, so I'm going to make the put a track delay is what Cubase calls it. Just means it's going to start sooner so that everything lines up. It's a good start. Good phrase. So all I'm going to do is take this rhythm guitar. I'm literally just going to, I'm going to copy it and put it in the bass down here. Make sure it's the right octave. It should be 1 octave. It's probably already matched to work perfectly together. Yeah. So I can already tell the drums are a little bit loud, so let me turn those down a little bit in the interface. Let me go to the bass. Bass is actually kind of quiet. Let me look for the volume. Guessing is over here, somewhere over here. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that they had these extra tabs over here. This is where you can see the actual tablature, the tabs. That's so cool. How cool is that? Actually, it has it all written out. That's nice. Whoa. So you can actually put in some phrases here. That's really cool. And notice you can do pick library versus finger. I'm intentionally doing the pick because these are really fast notes, and on a bass you have to pick it. There's no way fingers can do all that. They also have a little EQ in there, which is cool. So they're bumping right there at the, like 75K or so. What else can we do? I just wanted to bump the volume, really, which is right here. This is the DI, the direct in, or the master. Let's make it a little bit louder. Yeah. God, this is such a cool library. More so than the guitars, that bass sounds almost identical to my bass, which is it's a Warwick rock bass, 5 strings, has the low B and everything. And when I plug it in direct in to my interface, it actually sounds like Almost exactly like this. Cool. Let's find a sweet spot for that. The drums. I love all the sloppiness. Like, it sounds so real. To have all those extra little buzzes. So my goal was to do D's and E's. Looks like I did E flats. I want to change those to E's. It's kind of hard to tell with those low notes, but I'm going to bump them up to E's, make sure that works. All right, here we go. Let's edit this a little bit. Ba-dum, ba-da, 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 ba-ba. Ba-da, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-bum, ba-dum. Oh, I can play some slap, don't you worry. I like that, G. Trying to really nail the bass line so I can double it with everything else. Yeah, da 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 da. Play this part in. I want some kind of like staircase. Oh, that's a hard little line to play. Why am I struggling with this line? Ba-da, 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 ba-dum. I do want a triplet. There it is. Even has the finger slide afterward. I love that. To me, like, that's really the only way to do sample instruments. either be really fake sounding on purpose or sound really real by adding all the little extra noises. Triple it down. Triple it. Oops. Triple it down. Bow. I hate to have to pull out a stinking slide, but that's one of those things that with a live bass I would just go yabba-dabba. I would just like naturally do a slide, and it's hard to program. So it's almost not even worth doing it, you know. So I wrote this cool bass line. Now, conversely, all I have to do is copy it into the rhythm. This is a moment to absolutely do some vibrato. Like that. Cool. Yeah, I mean, MIDI guitars is not the loveliest, sexiest thing in the world. I mean, if you can play guitar, play it, right? But it's good to have these options. I like that vibrato. Wow. Ooh, and that's without drums or anything, so that's cool. Here's if we use the EZDrummer pattern. That works so well. That's really good. I'm going to keep that. Okay, I liked it until the end. So all I have to do is manually move it over. It should still work really well. Like that. Maybe I'm going to steal 2 bars from here. That's why I really like the EZDrummer. The MIDI section is you can just edit it after you find a good groove. Cool. See, I never would have played the extra little thing. So cool. Oh, gross. Did you hear that phasing? Ooh, that's because I had 2 of the same sound playing at once. Whoops. Good start. Really cool. So let's lean into the lead now. That worked out better than expected. See, sometimes it's nice to have pre-designed rhythms, and you can kind of fudge them to your own desires, you know. So lead guitar, let's see what we can do here. Just kind of play around. So DBZ stuff usually has really strong singable melodies that are simple. So I want to lean in that direction. I'm not going into like Megadeth or Metallica territory, which is like known for being complicated. Like Dream Theater, that stuff is cool, but it's like made to be complicated. not complicated. Right. I want to play around a little bit. Is that all right? Is that fair? I liked this one, Head Rush. That's what I was looking for. I'll get some orchestra in here soon to really give it the DBZ sound. Jeez, that's so insane going that high. Yeah, I mean, TSS is totally coming. I have to figure out how... I want to play a melody that can be doubled with strings on TSS and the lead guitar. I have a hard time writing melodies on top of like really groovy. Essentially, we're just doing D minor to D minor, E minor, right? A little extreme. Let me go back to the what is that, F sharp 1 to do some taps, and let's just live there for a minute. So that's way down here. Okay, cool. Okay. How's that for a line? that a lot. I need to turn it down. This is just so loud. It's cutting through just fine. That'd be cool to double with strings. Since I'm doing octaves. Whew, it's a lot, but kind of works. That is very neoclassical, but that's kind of what metal is it's classical with electric guitars. Oh. Oh boy. Sure, why not? This might be way over the top, but that's kind of the fun of it. Let's kind of hear it in context. So over the top. So here's what I want to do. I want to add some good synths. In order to do this, we have to step back in time a little bit to grab some 90s synths. All right. Let's grab some ancient synths, yeah? I feel like we need to just do a little deep dive here. I have no idea what this is going to sound like. We need some 90s synths to just give it the DBZ vibe. And some strings, of course. So if anything, I'm going to go for like a Dragon Ball... What is he called? The blue-haired one. I watched all of it. I've already forgotten the name of it. It's not GT. It's the other one. That sound. Come on, help me out, guys. You know, the blue-haired Goku. There's a whole series about it. Let's just pick on some stuff. Good old Jupiter. Jupiter 8. Thank you, Casey, for setting the record straight. Dragon Ball Super. That's what it is. And you can see it. All the blue. Well, I don't even know if this has Super in it, but yeah. Hey, you can all play along. That's fine. I got to kill some of this delay. It's a little much. Don't know where it is. So many knobs. Let me try this. Different patch from the Jupiter. Well said, ToeGap. Well said. I love the Jupiter. It's one of the greatest. All right, let me take that and change the release. That's what I was looking for. All right, back to the show. Again, simple, but it works really well. So let me just get rid of that. Take all of this. Let's see what happens if I move this to G minor. I don't know what's going to happen. Seduced me into Final Fantasy VII. All right, back to the Jupiter. I'm not 100% with this Jupiter patch. I want it to be a little bit. I liked the large orchestra patch. It just had too much. Oh, there it is. There's my release knob. Yeah, excellent. Let's do it. This actually really fits the Dragon Ball world. Huh. Let's do it. Yes, your Switch would explode if you played that. And that somehow led me to B major, which is the 5, which takes us back to the 1. And even though it's only a 1 minute track, I think that's going to be a good stopping spot right there. Gives us 3 distinct sections, and even though it's very short. Maybe I'm probably like changing too quickly, but whatever. It's my music, my show, so deal with it. That's all I have to do. Yeah. Cool. some ideas. I want to hear this Jumbo Chuchi solo. For me, when it comes to rock and metal, I don't do a lot of it, but when I do, I like to just kind of put stuff on loop and then just try to simplify, like get all the crap out, right? All the weird shredding stuff, and then like really try to simplify it into an actual melody that feels good on top of it. That's why I just keep playing it over and over and over again, which is a Koji Kondo thing, by the way. If it's okay for him, it's probably okay for some of us. If you ever feel stuck, like you don't know what to write, it's okay to loop something until you just keep jamming on top of it until something feels natural instead of forced. And I wouldn't even call this the beginning of the track. This is clearly like the chorus of the track, or like the main part of the track. And I like starting here. So maybe if we have time or another day or whatever, I could always add like an intro or something that kind of builds up. And this is kind of the chorus, and that the F sharp minor thing later, the C section, is really like a bridge. That was my favorite so far. That's a very DBZ kind of melody, and it'll be doubled with strings. It's pretty good. Like that's on par with what I expect. That started to sound really good. fix that. The most Japanese anime way to end anything, any kind of loop, is to just do a pickety third. Because it just goes such a good loop back into the E minor. Oh, yeah. J Messer wants to see the tab. So my understanding is the tabs are for the pre-programmed key switches. So inside, if we go back to the keyboard, check this out. Notice up here, all these colored keys. These are pre-recorded phrases. So that's what it's playing. It's pre-programmed, so the different phrases that are in there, they're still MIDI, and you can still go in there and edit it. But yeah, that's what that's referring to. It's not what I just played. That would be cool. If there's a way, I would love to know if that's a thing. If it turns MIDI into tabs, yeah. Yeah. So these guitars. What am I trying to say? These guitars, I'll show you again over here. This is, look at the links in the description. This is the Ample 3-in-1 bundle. It has all three guitars. Individually, they're each $119 on the Ample Sound site. But this one has two guitars and a bass for $239. It's pretty killer. I'm really enjoying it so far. Play around for a minute with some strings. Let's pull out my favorite, Micah's favorite. He is a proud evangelist of TSS. Take a hot minute to load. So let me do this. Let's take a quick coffee break. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back in a couple minutes, and I'll have some TSS loaded, and we'll continue some lovely DBZ metal. Stay fresh. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the live composing show. Hope you're doing fabulous today. This has been a fun episode so far, knocking out some metal music, which has kind of turned into an 80s rock ballad opera thing. But that's kind of the Dragon Ball Z style. We're working on a clip from Dragon Ball The Breakers. It's been a fun stream. And even on that quick little coffee break, I just thought of an idea. I'd like to write a little intro that kind of gets us pumped up so that when the A section drops, it has a bit more meaning instead of like starting a loop right there at the high intensity. So here's what I like to do. This is a cool Cubase function. I want to do 8 bars. So the way I do that is over here, set my looper bar. I guess. No, I'll do that. That's 8. Okay. I'm going to go to edit, arrange, insert silence. This is going to give me a spot for basically an intro. And I want to do with my rhythm guitar. Do that 4 times. And then it kind of leads us into that more of a melody moment, and it just kind of hypes us up for the battle. So let's do it. So there's the visuals. I gotta say, the music for this game sucks. It's so cliche and like phoned in. It's not good. The sound design is really bad. The graphics suck. It's like this game should have been treated with such love and passion, and I wish they'd asked me because I would have really enjoyed it. Just saying. Come on, Bandai Namco. Like sloppy seconds kind of effort, and it just sucks because the game has such potential, and I'm sure it's really fun in moments. Just come on, you can do better. Okay. I saw your Cuphead comment. That would be super fun. I actually really enjoy Big Band. I'm not great at it, but that might be a fun thing to try. Okay. I kind of want I'm trying to think of a drum beat. Okay, stop thinking about drums and let's do this. And I want it all in that. Yeah, I like that. C C C C D D D D. Da dun da dun da dun da dun. Here we go. That's what I'll do. CB. Ah! This is tricky. Ah! It's so fast. Shiga tega tega tega. Baka tega 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 tega. Tapa tapa. Tapa tapa. That's pretty good. It's more so like the delay, the latency of the actual instrument causes it. It's like almost impossible to play straight 16ths. accurately. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's pop him down here. I can probably do it twice. Let's see if it leads well into the next. That way it's just like way bigger and fuller. This is tricky. I may just need to use the EZDrummer thing, and that's fine. Let's find... let's just look in their metal, modern metal, and let's look for an intro that's around the same BPM as me. So I'm at 136, so anything nearby will be good. Interesting. Let's try it. That's cool. Wow. I don't think I want to do full, like the full stop. I like the ride, like the crash, splash. That's what it's called. Sorry. Kind of like that. Yeah. See, in that example, I took a pre-manufactured MIDI sequence and then I just edited it. But it gave me an idea and it allowed me to do my own thing on top of it, which is very helpful. All right, I gotta get my open cymbal. There we go. There we go. Why is that one so weak? There. Hello? Hit the cymbal, please. Maybe that's the wrong one. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to find the right hit. Okay, it seems that C sharp is the magic note that I'm wanting. Here we go. I like this. It's a hi-hat stop. So the drummer actually hits it, then grabs it, and goes straight into the riff. I like that. And that's the thing. You should always try to think about what would a real drummer do. And that's the cool thing is the more you understand the instruments, you can write realistic phrases. I had the benefit of growing up with, I have 5 siblings, and 3 of them had a rock metal band. All throughout my middle school, high school years, they were a little bit older than me, and they had this band, and they'd be shredding all the time. And I got really used to what is realistic as a drummer, what's realistic as a guitar player. So it's cool. Even though I don't play those instruments very much or very well, I have a deep understanding of them and what is possible. It should just be right. Yabba-dabba-dum. Just like the drums. Yagga-dagga-dum. Like this. Cool. Now let's double the guitars, the rhythm guitar, and the bass. Here we go. Yeah. Cool, great start. So let's pop into some Tokyo scoring strings. How do I do this? There we go. Making sure my legato speed is set to fast. And I have 0 latency mode on, so there's no stupid delay compensation. Just double it. It works. We'll double that here in TSS. I have to take away all the mod wheel stuff because that was just for vibrato. Instead, we're just going to pump it to where it's always high. Over here. Okay, we'll do the same thing for violin 2. It's just going to be in octaves. Grab some short strings because duh. Okay, strings short. You already know where I'm going with this, yeah? If you've been here for any amount of time, you know exactly where I'm going. Splabbity splabbity sploo. Adagietto. Ensemble, shorts, spiccato. Okay, I have to confess that as much fun as it is to do like metal solos and such, I just don't think it works in this context because there's so many sound effects and stuff on top of the picture that it would be so distracting in a loop. You just don't want to overdo it. So there's a reason that the cliche sound is what it is. Okay, I'm going to crank up the compression on these because you can be so buried in the mix. They don't need to sound good by themselves. That's a fun little phrase. well. So let's put it in short strings here. Never, 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 never. Dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it. Isn't that crazy? Strings can sound absolutely like garbage by themselves. But I was trying to get them to a production high end, right? Where I'm using OTT over the top and extreme compression to try to smush this thing into one frequency range to where it just pops every single time so that when it's doubled with the guitars, it sounds like this. Very clean. Ah, duh. So we'll double it the second time with the guitar. Yes, please. Let me make sure this is saved because I really like this track. That's so DBZ, isn't it? That's such their sound. Is that really overly super compressed strings doubling with guitars, and I think that's cool. I don't know if I want the harmonics or not. All right, let's fix that. It's nasty. It's a catchy little line. Dun, 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 dun. should just be a harmonic. And maybe bend like this, pitch. Yeah, so for this VST, the harmonics happen if you hit a certain velocity. It's like probably 100 to 127. All right, I gotta work on this section because it's empty. You think a downward bend? Probably. Yeah. Good call. Same thing here. All right, I feel like I need something else here. It needs to be synth, actually. So I think we need to lean back into the UVI. So I want more synth to just something to give it some extra character. Something from the 90s that kind of... probably the Oberheim. Probably something brass. That's very DBZ. That really fits the anime vibe. trying to play Final Fantasy VIII. Uematsu used a lot of synthesizers from the 80s and 90s. That's not the exact one, but there are plenty in here that he definitely used. That's why I bought this in the first place, or grabbed this in the first place. I did buy this. I don't remember. No, this one was a sponsored, but... This is 9. Not good. Oh, what do I want? What do I want? I want something brassy. Let me keep going here. Let's just be simple. We need to overcomplicate this. That's a good loop. Let it be what it is. And then it'll go back to the start. Cool. I mean, I think that's a pretty successful 2.5 hours of work on this. All right, let's double this with strings. It needs it. Yeah, I like these strings. Have to get rid of all the modulation info. I think this can be take it down. Let's try it. Take it. Let me give these TSS strings the same treatment of OTT to make them really hyper compressed. Really going to make them stand out. I'm not understanding your question, Jay Metzer. What is archetype? Is that a hardware? You can always route anything in your DAW from MIDI to audio and then send that audio to hardware of any kind. So absolutely. If it's hardware rig, yeah. All right, so for my final order as chief captain of the Dragon Ball Breakers committee, I would like to go to the master channel over yonder. Make sure my stream is still popping. All right, I'd like to throw on the one, the only Ozone, and I want to pick a metal preset to really help sell the the intensity of metal. And they have some really cool presets by genre. So let's see if they have a metal. Oh, they have a metal. Let's just see what it sounds like right out of the box with no changes. I think it's going to be amazing. I just have a strong feeling about this. All I did there was I took the snare drum and I changed it to one that has a little more bite, a bit of a lower frequency. I love that kick drum. These toms are solid. I mean, you can't go better than a Zildjian. I mean, just try it, a different one. I love that you can visually see everything happening. This is so cool. Man, this track sounds really cool from my monitors. But those are like $300 Rocket 5s. So like everything sounds good and like flat, but these headphones, oh my gosh, it makes it sound so much fuller and thicker. But that's, these are like low-ended, boosted bass. It's just so fat and rich. Love it. These headphones are killer. They're also $2,000 headphones compared to $300 speakers. So it's completely different. Cool. Let's be done. Thank you guys for being a part of this today. A few reminders as we wrap up here, and I'll play out the final clip. You can see the session and everything. A couple things real quick. I have a new guide for you. For anyone that does not have it yet, so you can go grab it right now and join the waitlist for VGM Alliance. We're going to open up again in early 2023. Excuse me. We got a lot of new members this time around. So we're now rocking about 50 people in our group, which is so much fun. Marie, what is oh no? Why are you oh knowing? Oh, don't go. I have to end sometime. I can't do this forever. But yeah, just a couple things. There's a new guide right there, 25 questions every VGM composer asks. I've taught a lot of video game music composers over the years, and there are 25 questions that everybody asks. And those are some very quick, like 1 or 2 sentence answers. They're not the definitive, like every answer in the world, but it's the most asked things, most asked questions. A lot of things about how to start your career, a lot of things about what tools to choose, a lot about kind of first steps, next steps, all that kind of stuff. So I hope that is super helpful for everybody. So go grab it today, videogamemusicalliance.com. And I also want to just give another reminder that today we're showing off a few different sample libraries that you can grab if you take a look in the description below. One of them is EZDrummer. The other one is the Ample 3-in-1 metal bundle, which comes with that lead guitar, rhythm, and bass guitar. So over here, there's EZDrummer 3, and then we have the 3 different 2 electrics and 1 bass that come with it. And individually, they're $119, but together as a bundle, get $239. So that's pretty awesome. Now, I do want to give a caveat that the EZDrummer does not come with a metal kit. It just has a lot of like rock and pop, country kind of stuff, your typical drum kits. So you have to go grab this expansion pack as well, the EZX Modern Metal. It's worth it though, because these are some killer drums. I'm a big fan of them. So go grab those links in the description below. That is an affiliate. Those are all affiliate links that support the channel here. Yeah, so I hope you guys have a fabulous remainder of your week and weekend. And wow, I can't believe we just did 4 live streams in a row. That was pretty insane. I'm exhausted. But I got a lot done. Got a ton of stuff done this week. So take care, guys. Let me play out my final track for Dragon Ball The Breakers. Take care.